This is an assault on America. Nothing like this has ever happened before. There's never been anything like it. Every legal scholar said this case is nonsense. It should never have been brought. It doesn't deserve anything like this. There is no case, and they've said it. People that don't necessarily follow or like Donald Trump said this is an outrage that this case was brought. This is political persecution. This is a persecution like never before. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And again, it's a case that should have never been brought. It's an assault on America. And that's why I'm very proud to be here. This is an assault on our country. And it's a country that's failing. It's a country that's run by an incompetent man who's very much involved in this case. This is really an attack on a political opponent. That's all it is. So I'm very honored to be here. Thank you very much.
Do the American voters believe that?
This is going to cost you the White House.
How will you be campaigning over the next several weeks?
Gettysburg, what an unbelievable battle that was. The Battle of Gettysburg, what an unbelievable, I mean, it was so much and so interesting and so vicious and horrible and so beautiful in so many different ways. It represented such a big portion of the success of this country. Gettysburg, wow. I go to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to look and to watch. And the statement of Robert E. Lee, who's no longer in favor. Did you ever notice that? No longer in favor. Never fight uphill, me boys. Never fight uphill. They were fighting uphill. He said, wow, that was a big mistake. He lost his great general. And they were fighting, never fight uphill, me boys, but it was too late.
Mr. Trump denies falsifying business records to conceal a hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels just ahead of the 2016 election, which he won. 60 of 96 potential jurors were quick to say they could not be impartial after proceedings began on Monday. Jury selection continues on Tuesday, and could take up to 2 weeks. Those who were not ruled out straight away on the first day were asked multiple questions, including about their news and book reading habits. "I just couldn't do it," one prospective juror was heard saying as she left court on Monday. The dismissals were an indication of how challenging it could be to find a group of 12 impartial jurors for a case concerned with a high-profile sex scandal involving a former president running once again for the White House. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office alleges that Mr. Trump directed his former attorney, Michael Cohen, to pay Ms. Daniels $130,000, £104,000, in exchange for her silence about an alleged sexual encounter that the former president denies took place. Prosecutors say he did so to unlawfully influence the 2016 election. Mr. Trump has pleaded not guilty. Jury selection began in the afternoon. The judge started by dismissing jurors who raised their hand to say they could not be impartial, leaving about 34 people. Those left were then grilled on 42 questions in the jury questionnaire, including on their news reading habits, whether they had attended any Trump rallies or read any of the former president's books. 18 were placed at random in the jury box, and they answered the questionnaire one by one. One man from Midtown Manhattan said that he read the Wall Street Journal. Another from the Upper West Side said his radio habits included listening to whatever was on when he was in the shower. He later clarified he meant NPR. Neither was dismissed immediately. A woman was asked, "Do you have any strong opinions or firmly held beliefs about former President Donald Trump, or the fact that he is a current candidate for president, that would interfere with your ability to be a fair and impartial juror?" She simply replied, "Yes," and was dismissed, although Mr. Trump's team initially objected to excusing her for reasons they did not explain. All jurors will remain anonymous due to the high-profile nature of the case, although Mr. Trump's legal team and prosecutors will know their identities. Mr. Trump said 3 words in the entirety of Monday morning to the judge, New York Justice Juan Merchan, all, yes, when asked about what conduct was required in court. But outside the court, Mr. Trump said the trial was nonsense and an assault on America. Mr. Trump's public remarks about the case were the subject of several minutes of debate during the morning in court. Prosecutors argued some of Mr. Trump's posts on his social media site, Truth Social, violated a gag order Justice Merchan imposed on him. The order bars Mr. Trump from making public comments about people related to the case, including potential witnesses. The order was expanded to relatives of those involved after Mr. Trump attacked Justice Merchan's daughter on social media. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office asked Justice Merchan to fine Mr. Trump $3,000, £2,400, in total for 3 posts. That includes a post on Saturday when he called his former attorney, and future trial witness, Michael Cohen, a disgraced attorney and felon. The judge set a hearing date of the 24th of April to make a decision. The judge used the morning to resolve what evidence would be permissible in court. The defense and prosecution sparred over leaked audio of Mr. Trump that came out just before the 2016 election. In the clip, taken from a recording of NBC show Access Hollywood, Mr. Trump talks about grabbing women by their genitals. Prosecutors asked to include an email chain between Trump campaign officials and the Washington Post reporter who broke the Access Hollywood story, which included a transcript of the tape. The judge refused to allow the audio to be played for jurors, but said prosecutors could refer to what Mr. Trump said on the tape. Throughout the day, Mr. Trump was cheered on by dozens of people who rallied peacefully but loudly outside court.
No matter who
they
you
included a man
we
playing the
cannot
Star-Spangled Banner on the
normalize
flute for
serious
hours and
criminal
a Trump
conduct.
impersonator wearing a blonde wig and red tie. There were others decidedly less enthusiastic about the former president. One held a banner that stated, "Convict Trump already." The hush money trial is just one of 4 criminal cases the former president is facing. But it could be the only one to go to trial before the 2024 presidential election, a rematch between Mr. Trump, a Republican, and the incumbent, Joe Biden, a Democrat. If convicted, Mr. Trump would be the first major party nominee to run for president as a convicted felon. No law prevents him from doing so. Justice Merchan also rejected a defense request that Mr. Trump be excused from the trial next Thursday so that he can attend Supreme Court arguments on the immunity claims he raised in another of his criminal cases. Arguing before the Supreme Court is a big deal, Justice Merchan said, before adding, "A trial in New York Supreme Court is also a big deal. I will see him here next week."
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share.